You're with the Breaker-Leggers, and we are at the Town Hall Hotel in Bethnal Green
to see a very special production called The Grift.
So stay tuned to find out how many legs,
whether it's break a leg
or leg it. Before you go any further,
to make sure you're always up to date with the latest stagey happenings,
make sure you hit subscribe now to be kept up to date.
Also, get in touch with us. You could leave us a comment below, or just like Andrew Lime, you could send us a lovely email. Thanks, Andrew.
And Larry Amos, we got your email too. Nice to hear from you, so keep us informed. Any theatre that you're going to see, if you're going to see this piece, let us know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. So, The Grift.
Yeah, The Grift. Bit different, actually. This is calling itself an immersive theatrical experience. It's actually been brought to you by the team that brought you Accomplice. Now, Accomplice had a run over here in London, but it originated in New York, and we caught it ourselves a few years ago, and gotta say, it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's something very special. When we were over in New York, it's kind of like an all-day tour around New York, but set with tasks and actors. You're kind of given directions to go to this place and that place. It's a bit like a treasure hunt, but it's live. The one we saw was kind of like a bit of a mafia thing. We kind of
looking for stolen diamonds.
Yeah, it's so immersive. We had a brilliant day. It was so clever. So very excited to know what they're going to be doing with this.
Yeah, it's a site-specific experience taking part here at the Town Hall Hotel Bethnal Green, which their bedrooms are in use for, actors going to be in bedrooms. You're going to be eavesdropping on people's, having dinner or drinks, something very, very immersive.
Yeah,
or if you hate audience participation, probably
maybe
not for you.
But what's interesting is when we saw it, was very much a tour of New York with backstory, but this is actually selling itself as an immersive piece of theatre.
Yeah, and it's been conceived, written and directed by the same person that did Accomplice, and that's Tom Salamon. And it's going to teach us how to kind of manipulate people and train us in the art of the con, and so we can bring down a criminal mastermind.
Which is exactly what I was planning on doing this weekend, so I'm glad we're catching this. So we'll let you know what we think about this piece when we get to the end.
Well, we've come to the end of The Grift here at the Town Hall Hotel, Bethnal Green, London. What did you think of that?
I had a really good time. It's almost everything I remember from the last time when we did it in New York.
From Accomplice.
That one. It's very much the same themes. It's almost a number of things. It's like interactive theatre. It's like escape the room. It's also like it's very immersive theatre. It's also very time pressured. There's so much going on. I had a great time. Is how I found it.
Me too, and that's what I would kind of put it akin to. It is very much like a sort of guided escape the room, but with many different facets and different characters and a storyline. With a room escape, you've got a room and an instruction, which is use what you can to get out the room.
And you're left on your own.
Yes.
That's it, not guided.
With this, it's much more character driven. You're actually involved in a plot. You are, in many ways, the star of the show, and the actors are just there in order to make sure you're on the right track with regards to getting to the next objective. It's an absolutely thoroughly enjoyable couple of hours, and I can see this working for things like group parties, like celebrations. Bring a group of people
Hen
here.
party, stag party, birthdays, corporate events, team building days,
at this.
all of that. And I'd say also just for the casual, tourist.
Yeah.
I'd imagine people who are staying in the hotel would also just pop along. You don't need to know anybody. You're put into small teams. We've got to be careful because we don't want to give anything away in terms of spoilers. But the whole group of you are split off into smaller teams, so you get to know the people you're around, and you have so much fun meeting different characters. It is a perfect team building event.
Yeah, it is. And not only the characters that are in the show and written characters, but the characters within your group. We met some really interesting people, and wanting to find out more about them. You get to spend a lot of time together. I'd say this isn't for a wallflower particularly. This is for a social sort of theatre goer, because it is a different type of theatre. But if that's you and you've got an ounce of confidence, come along. I'd say even if that wasn't you and you wanted to develop your confidence, come along.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I think that you can probably get involved as much as you want to get involved, and if maybe you don't want to read something else, you can hand it on to somebody else, and I'm sure they'll be fine with that. But there is the opportunity to get involved with some of the activities, and it is very high tech, some of it as well, so well choreographed. The main feat of this, if you come and see it, is just the timing.
Yes.
How the intricate timing of each group from each room and the setups of what happens, how each group has tiny bits of information deposited to them, given to them, that they then have to share at the end, which all then comes together to this one big story. Like, the idea of it, to make that work, is
a logistical achievement. It's
accomplishment.
Almost, yeah,
a logistical accomplishment.
It's almost like, Clifton Suspension Bridge. It's that much of an achievement
Because
of
actually,
making it work.
If you think about it, there is so much scope for error.
Yeah.
If you're given directions as to how to get to each location, if you go right instead of left, you're going to end up in completely the wrong place the whole time, which will knock out.
Yes.
So there must be contingency and safety net set up that we don't even know about to make sure we are in the right place.
And the director-creator, Tom Salamon, has made that work really, really well. Move over Brunel, where you had the Clifton Suspension Bridge. There's a new man in town with a new feat of engineering, and that's theatrical engineering.
Now, I don't think we're giving this away. It's about con artists, the grift, and you're kind of...
You're scamming the scammer.
You're scamming the scammer, but as you go through, you're taught different scams, and you get to recreate the scams, and that is so good in terms of interactive theatre, in terms of being immersive and being part of it. I don't want to say any more because I don't want to give anything else away.
What I would say is they do teach you a number of tricks which are perfectly plausible in the real world. So I'm going to quit my day job now and just take up full-time con artistry.
The cast did very well. I think there was seven of them, 8 of them.
Yeah, it's quite a tight-knit group. Standouts for me, I thought Dylan Alcock as Grady the bellboy, who gets to show off some of his piano skills. He was fantastic because he had to be actor-musician, really, which is a feat unto itself. And also Laura Kerman. Now, Laura was in the original cast of The Play That Goes Wrong, which won the Olivier Award in 2015 for Best New Comedy, and she's great. She's got bags of enthusiasm. This must be such a different sort of experience for an actor, because you're not separated by the fourth wall at all. You are up close and personal with people touching you, breathing your space. You've got to
be so responsive to the audience you get. I imagine each group is going to be so different. Some groups you're going to have quiet people who are quite timid. Some groups you're going to have people who are going to want to take over in terms of the audience. And just have to roll with what you get, and within the time space that you're allotted. If you're a bit slightly longer on some of the challenges, that's really going to impact on your performance time with the group. So all the time they're being so responsive to what is going on. Like I say, I don't know how they managed to make it work.
No, all of them are absolutely, they're exposed as actors, yet they did a fantastic job of being, it's almost like an improv, I suppose. It's almost like a semi-improvised piece, and they are thinking on their feet, and this whole cast are so capable.
The location really lent itself to the storyline, some really nice locations. Again, I don't want to give it away.
No, try not to spoil it, but you see.
But the venue suited it very well. Nice space, use of each location. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Absolutely.
We can't really comment about the lighting or the music because there wasn't really any.
There are some at the end. There's a really great scene at the end actually which uses music and lights to its advantage, but that is as much as it goes. This is a experience more than it is a piece of theatre, so it's difficult to comment. But what is used is perfectly fitted, well fitted for the piece.
So I guess you are probably wondering how many legs for the Grift.
Well, the Grift, playing here at the Town Hall Hotel, Bethnal Green, London, only until the 25th of March.
So that's another couple of months.
We are going to give
Five legs. We thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. I loved it. We were saying we would come back again.
Yeah, even though we know what happens, sort of what goes on, it almost felt when you meet other groups at the end that everyone has had a slightly different experience, both individually and within a group, because they had information that we didn't know about.
And you're like, how did they get that information?
Yeah, where was that in the story? So I think
each story is different.
Yeah, it has a replay value. You could come back and experience this again and take something totally different from it. Now, why I went with 5 stars, I don't know about you, is because this is right up my street. As confident and outgoing a person as I am.
Are you?
Am I, maybe? I kind of got dived in, I am the one screaming, "It's behind you" at the panto. So this is absolutely, I love it. But like I say, if you are a shy, retiring person that doesn't like to get involved and be put into situations where you don't have 100% control, you might feel uncomfortable. But if you are throw caution to the wind and let yourself be swept away, then this is what to visit in London right now.
Now that's what we thought. Please tell us what you thought. How can we get our hands on tickets?
Yeah, well, actually, you can only get tickets through the TodayTix app. And if you use our referral code, more information down below, you can save yourself £10 on your tickets if you've never used the app before. It's the only way to get tickets, and they do a variety of different packages, including a ticket and a drink, which is kind of their standard. But they also do meals and champagne, and you can make an entire evening of this. So why not head on to TodayTix, see what's available, and then come down, lose yourself for a few hours here at the Town Hall Hotel.
And when you do, please let us know what you think. Leave your comments below.
We're the Breaker Leggers, and we'll catch you again soon.
Bye.